welcome to this week's vlog. So I have already started reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and I'm so happy that I chose this book. So far there's 7 parts to this book, and I finished reading the first part, and what has happened is that Addie has been blessed, I guess, with by the gods, that because so she could like live forever, or just, and so right now it's jumping from her life in 1726 and 2014, and there's already a quote in which I just about like her transition of that, about how she got there, and she just is saying how like how she wants to be, like the reason why she wants to like have like these gods give her eternal life, or just like, well, either give her like eternal life or a different life, because she just is because she does not want to belong to anybody else, that she wants to belong to herself. She wants to be free to live, to find my own way to love or be alone, but at least it is my choice. So I tried, or of not having choice. So I'm so tired of not having choices, so scared of the years rushed past beneath my feet. I do not want to die as I lived, which is no life at all, right? And it's just the way that it is in 1776, and how repression against women. So I think that this is going to be a very great aspect of it. And she's 23, but she says 20 plus 3, right? And so I think it'd be great. And welcome to this reading dip. So I'm now officially halfway through The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and why she's invisible, if I haven't mentioned this already, is that she made a deal with the gods for them to take her soul, so and that way she could be a free woman. And so the chapters go between like 2014 to like early 1700s, and so when we're in like 2014, she meets this boy named Henry, and he remembers her, and somehow, and so where I've just left off is this, that he knows that she made a deal with the gods to be able to live, because he made one too. So that's very interesting, which is like could be why he remembers her. Oh my gosh. Right, so it's just very intense. I'm really happy that I got this for my birthday book, and I will probably, it's Tuesday today, and I'll probably have it done for Thursday, hopefully, right? Because I mean, reading half a book, even though I have plenty of time to read it tonight and then some tomorrow, I highly doubt I'm gonna finish it tomorrow, but you know, who knows, right? But so with that, I'm also on section 3 of 7, because it's got like 7 sections or parts to it. So that is also, it's always very nice. And I have like, just because it's me, I have the different sections tabbed off. So am I in section 3? No. Maybe I'm in section 4 or part 4. Yeah, part 4. 4 or 7. I lied. And then, you know, because it just makes you feel more accomplished when you can take up a sticky. And these 2 green ones are just like 2 quotes about that she has said, and it's just about selling your soul and what that means. And it's just, nobody knows who you are, right? And what kind of life is that? But it does give you freedom, I must say that, right? So right now we're about like 3 to 5, I guess, out of this book, but I'm sure I'm gonna really like it, and hopefully it'll make me want to read more of V.E. Schwab's books. But thumbs up. All right, bye. Alright, hello and welcome to today's reading dip. I'm now on part 6 of 7 of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and what we've determined in part 4, it was all about Henry and how he sold his soul to the devil, or to the gods, to have a lifetime worth of adventures. So that is why he can remember Addie. And then in part 5, we get to know a little bit more more about Addie and how it's kind of now the 1800s and she's going to Germany and just kind of like her life there. So far it's really good. I have about a little under 100 pages to go, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I can get it all done today and I can let you know what I think. I think it'll be, I don't know, it's very enticing. Just, I like how it's like the back and forth of the chapters between Addie's early life and like kind of like present day. And I really like the little section of knowing Henry and how his relationships and how he's gotten to where he is and how he wants to, go forward. Now, it's Thursday and this is the only book I've read this week. So I'm thinking I need to read like a smaller book to kind of, so I can be like, oh yeah, I read 2 books this week. So I was thinking, well, the best thing to do is to read a smaller book kind of, or a book that like I know I'll like. So like Catch Me If You Can's a smaller book, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Then She Was Gone, Watching You, The Last House Guest, or Such a Quiet Place. One of those books, I think, because I know that I will be able to read those faster. But I don't know. All I know is that now that the TV show of A Gentleman in Moscow is out, I want to read that, just like Flowers in the Attic. White Orlander, again, because I feel like that book will speak to me. But of course, a Colleen Hoover book, they're always like easier reads, and I really want to read something by Ali Hazelwood, so I don't know. Right? Today has been a busy day already, but we'll have to see what comes next. But either way, it's going great. It's been a thumbs up kind of day, and yeah, that's kind of it for me. Alright, bye! Hello, and welcome to another reading debate. I have now officially finished reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and oh my gosh, it's so good! I don't want to give away the ending, or kind of like the split shit and what happens, right? But, so, the god that makes that both Henry and Addie make a deal with, his name is Luke, and Luke is very powerful, and over the years, the 300 years that Addie has lived, she has gotten to know his moods and everything. I would say the book is about a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic, and just, I don't know, I just really liked the way that it was written, and how nobody knew who she was, and she could just be free in a sense to live her life, and that forever is an awfully long time, but she was just able to do it, and just that how she was able to find a lasting relationship with Henry, right? Even though she did have a kind of relationship with Luke, just not the desired one that you would really want, but a life it was. Right? So I would highly recommend this book, and I understand why everybody liked it. Thumbs up, 4 out of 5, would recommend. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I am interested in other books that V.E. Schwab has written. I may look into it at the library tonight. Not too sure, but options and choices now that I don't have another book lined up to read. Alright, bye! Hello and welcome to another reading debate. So it's a blessing and a curse to work at the library, because I finished a book and then I worked at the library and I was like, ooh, and because I finished my book, I was like, I'm going to pick up some more. So I picked up a few novellas, and so one is Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, and then Taking the Titanic novella by James Patterson, and then Home After Dark, or Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, and I think I might just like use my e-reader to read this, but I love the format that it's written in. And then I got 3 graphic novels. They're all Star Wars, so I got Thrawn, Star Wars, Dark Droids D-Squad. This is what started my library haul, actually. And then Han Solo and Chewbacca. Right? I'm thinking I'm going to get all the graphic novels read tonight because I can. And yeah, so that's just kind of my library haul. And I don't know if I'm going to read all of them when they're going to be read by, but, got to kick it with some short books. That's my library haul. Bye! Hello and welcome to this reading debate. So, what the first book here. We are going to talk about Thrawn, and it really is what you would think about Thrawn as a character, that it is just scheming and just how, like, just kind of like, just, there is no limits to what he's willing to do to make things bad or just to make things worse for everybody, right? Han Solo and Chewbacca, there was actually 2 stories in here, and so the first story is all about how, like, they, you know, like, they're smugglers and they like have a run-in with Greedo, and remember, Han shot first. And then the second story is just about them going and meeting up with, like, Princess Leia and the rest of the rebels, and just like getting, not necessarily getting rewards, but it's just more political, right? And then you got Dark Droids by D Squad, and, you know, of course, droids kick butt all the time, and it is just that they are, it's just, there's good droids and there's bad droids, and they just, when they work together, just like humans do, everything goes the right way, and it's just how they can conquer evil and how they kind of, you know, control everything, right? And then I read Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, and it's just about 2 working men during, like, the Great Depression, and it's just, I understand why this is a classic, just because it's just about, like, hard work and how, like, they're not really valued, and it's just, but I felt like I really wasn't reading it, but I was reading it at the same time, and it just follows, like, these just 2 men, and kind of like the little side characters, like George and Lemmy, right? And it's just, they're just like a very, or Lenny, not Lemmy, I'm sorry. And they're just, you know, 2 peas in a pod, and just how they grow together, right? There's 4 out of the 6 that I have read tonight. I will mostly, I don't know, I was thinking that James Patterson novella, I don't know if I'll read that one, but, I mean, the Riley Sager one I know for sure, because thrillers are amazing, and I feel like I should have taken the night off of reading, but I didn't. And it's kind of like a good thing that I remembered, or that I just decided to borrow books, because my birthday is on Monday, and that every 2 years with the library, you need to, like, update your library card, you know, by providing a proof of address and everything like that. So it made me realize that I need to provide proof of address next week, or if I want to borrow more books. So yeah, it's kind of what I need to be doing. But anyways, you know, happy early birthday to me. I think out of my favorite, of course, the D Squad is my favorite. And yeah, thumbs up. Alright, bye. Alright, I have now finished reading Taking the Titanic by James Patterson and Scott Slaven. And I think it was, like, pretty cool. It was just about, like, this married couple and how their interactions with other people on the ship. And then when the ship sinks, that they decide that they're going to start a new life, and they're not going to manipulate people, and they're just going to, you know, start afresh because that is what they want. And they're pretty clever. At one point in time, they were going to separate. It's a very quick read. It's like, oh, not even it's 146 pages, and it's you know, pretty small, as you can see. Nigel and Celia are, like, the married couple, and it just, each chapter it flip-flops between the 2 of them, and it's just, you know, it goes from, of course, from the time that they board to the time that the ship sinks, and it's just, you know, it's always fun to see that they survived the sinking, and that they're going to start a great and happy life. I'd say maybe, like, 2 to 5 stars for me. It was just, I don't know, just a quick read, a little quick novella. It was alright, I guess. Why, hello, and welcome to this reading dip out. So, what has happened is that because I volunteer at the Friends of the Library bookstore here in town, I ended up borrowing a bunch of graphic novels and junior fiction books because, one, we got a lot of donations in, and some of these books, especially these top three, are not, because there's like writing in them or the spines are too damaged that we can't actually sell them in the store. So I figured I'm just going to bring them home, read them, and then donate them to a mini library because they are still in like pretty good condition. But the other ones I just borrowed because, because I realized that for my reading goal, according to Goodreads, was that I was at 92 books. And I was like, well, what if? What if, because in the first quarter of the year, I had met my Goodreads goal of reading 75 books this year, that I was like, what if I say in the first third of the book year, I can read 100 books, right? But because I read all the graphic novels today, I have now have read 102 books this year, right? And so because I have read them, I have no need for them, and I'm just going to give them back to the bookstore because, again, like, I borrowed them, right? And we are going to sell them because we can, and I have destickered majority of the ones, right? As you can see, there's still some, like, white ones that I need to scrape off, which I'll do next week when I'm at the bookstore. And I will let you know which ones, or show you which ones I got, but I went through Goodreads and I got my stats of the books in which I've read, right? So because I really wanted to preface this, is that it's all about like influencers and how they're lying to you, and how people just need to become like more media aware, right? And that people aren't media aware, and it's just that, just you have to read between the lines. When I say that I have read, like, kind of like 102 books this year, and it's not even the end of April, you're like, oh my gosh, like, that's a lot of books, right? But honestly, I have read 60 graphic novels this year, right? Which is how I've been able to do it, right? And so I just wanted to preface that yes, like, reading 100 books already is a lot, but not really, especially when I can go from, say, in less than 4 hours, I could get 8 graphic novels read, film stuff, and post shorts for them, and have them like titled, tagged, hashtagged, all within like less than 4 hours, right? It's just the kind of thing, like with these like graphic novels, like the 10 that I read this afternoon, again, it was less than 4 hours, right? So it's just like, and like, part of it is that because I've been doing this for so long, I've been putting up weekly vlogs for almost like a year now, and I've been doing shorts for a little over a year and a half. Like, I'm in the routine, and I know how, so just kind of doing all these kind of things is really old hat for me. Like, it doesn't take me, that long to kind of like film and upload, tag everything, because it is such a routine for me, right? But but also because these are junior graphic novels. Like, graphic novels are very easy reads, but because they're for juniors, meaning that they're kind of meant, depending on the kid's like reading level, for like 6 to 12-year-olds. You know what I mean? So they're mainly pictures because they're graphic novels. So it's not that hard for me to, as an adult, right, to read them, because like my reading level is like surpass that. It's like I should be reading the books that you see in the background. Like, that is like my reading level, right? These adult books, not these junior ones, right? So it's really easy. So it's kind of like just having the transparency there that, it's just like how like there are some like booktubers out there that they can read a lot because they're reading books that are like less than 300 pages, right? Or say like they're in university and like the books that they can say they're reading like literary fiction. Well, they're reading, like, they have to read those books for school, and then they're creating content out of that as well for YouTube. So it's not like they're doing absurd amount of reading when they kind of already have to read those books anyways, especially if somebody's going to get like their master's or like even like their doctorate in English or in literature, right? That they have to create a thesis. So they could be reading all these books for their thesis, and they're creating content out of it, right? Like that's not something what I'm doing, but like it's just, you have to like kind of read between the lines, or just like, I know that like I'm just kind of rambling, but with all influencing, like you're there to influence people, and that you just like be aware of like what you're watching, always question everything, and just know that that what you see may not be like actual reality, and that like you never know what people are thinking or what people are like behind the camera or when the camera's off, right? That people only allow you to see what they want you to see. Like even if there's like no camera involved and like social media isn't involved, like you never really know what a person is really like or what they're capable of, because like they're only, again, like you're only seeing what people want you to see, right? So I guess like, okay, so that being said, I'm gonna leave that, right? Just be aware to be media literate, right? Make sure, you question things and to like have a great time, right? But enjoy, just really be aware of what you're watching, right? So when I was on Goodreads adding these books in which I've read, I decided that I wanted to get more statistics of what exactly I was reading. So I'm going to read through how many books of like each category that I have read. So for junior graphic novels, I have read 43 of them this year. For teen graphic novels, I've read 5. For adult graphic novels, I've read 12, which equals out to 60 graphic novels. For junior fiction, I have read 18. For teen fiction, I have read 1. And for adult fiction, I have read 23, which equals out to 40 books, right? Makes sense, right? Or not 40, but 42. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't do math in my head, right? Yeah, so 42. So I have read 60 graphic novels and 42 books this year. Makes sense, right? So that is just how many books I have read in 2024. And that's how I've read 102 books, right? So 60 graphic novels and 42 novels, right? Now, I guess that now going forward, so I guess part of it is that because I wanted to read as many books as I could, as fast as I could, just to get these numbers, I started reading graphic novels. Kind of like the bonus of that is I actually found out that I actually really, really do like graphic novels. Now, because I don't need to, it's not necessarily about that number anymore, because I've read over 100, I've surpassed my goal for the year, that I might try to get into Magna, right? I might try to get into that. But with like the junior books in which I've read, it's been really nice because I finally got to read some of the books in which like I've been wanting to read or reread for a very long period of time, and I've been able to find books that I didn't even know existed, and reminded myself of certain books, right, that even existed. So like The Secret Princess, I didn't even know that book even existed, but because I was looking for Frances Hodges Burnett books, I was able to find that book existed. I read it, and it was phenomenal. And I was also able to read other Frances Hodges Burnett's other books and to reread them again, which was great because, rereading books is fantastic, as well as I read Harriet the Spy. I didn't even realize that that was a trilogy, but now I do, and I've read the entire trilogy, and it was great, time well wasted, as they say. And just getting back into graphic novels, I didn't even think I knew I would even enjoy them, but I do, and they're great, and I like it. All right, so I guess now that that's kind of done and out of the way, and just my rambling, all right, I will let you know what books I've picked up and what I thought about them. Alright, so the first one first, we're going to do junior books first. I got from the Babysitters Club, Dawn's Big Move. Now, I remember loving this series. As a kid, I never read all of them, but I did read some of them, so I figured, why not? And that because, the cover is kind of ruined and the spine, after I'm done reading it, I'm going to give it to a mini library, and I was thinking that, if I'm ever kind of in a reading slump or whatnot, it's a quick, easy read that I could read in an afternoon, and it'll be great. Right. The second one is The Adventures of the Bailey School Kids. The Wolfmen Don't Hula Dance. Right. So this is another book that we can't really sell in the store. It's kind of dirty, got writing in it. So I think it'll be again another quick read that I can just shoot out, read in an afternoon, right? And I remember reading these as a kid, and they were great and they were fun. The next one is Dear Dumb Diary. Okay, so maybe I do have superpowers. Again, this one is all got some water damage, ruin, and so I will be donating this one to a mini library as well. But I thought it'd be a nice, quick, easy read, right? It's got some pictures in there, right? So I think it'll be a fun, quick, easy read. So that's number one. And then I got number two. The super nice are super annoying, right? And then I'm not sure how many are in this series, but then here's three. Am I the Princess or the Frog? Right? So these two will be going back to the store as soon as I'm done reading them. But I thought it was super cool that I was able to get 1, 2, and 3 right away. And that if I'm ever in a reading slump, here we go. I got those 5. But then for the graphic novels in which I've read and which I will be returning next week to the store is that Lunch Lady and the Schoolwide Shuffle. I thought this one was really cute. It was just the crazy lunch lady, but how she protects the school, and I thought it was just really neat and enjoyable. I liked it. Right, and it's just what she does has to protect the school from the evil lady, and just uses her extra strength to make sure that she can get them. Right, loved it. Right, and then we got the lunch lady and the bake sale bandit. So the bandit who wants to steal all the baked goods, right? Because sweets are delicious, and here she is. She's taking out the trash because that's what she's gonna do for him. And then a school bus becomes a monster. Buszilla, greasy bacon. That's her expression, right? And I thought that was really fun, right? But of course, the lunch lady rules the day. Right? Now, I have seen these Babymouse books or graphic novels, and I never thought to pick one up, but I've read 2 of them, and I'm glad I found them and picked them up. And it's just about we got the princess, the baby mouse here, and of course the school puts on a musical, and that the ending of the musical obviously ends up in some hilarity, some misfit stuff, right? And the other one is the Heartbreaker. I thought this was another really cute one, and I really liked it, and I enjoyed it. And it's just, she needs to be a heartbreaker because she needs to choose who's going to be her Valentine. Right? And then I have picked up Paranorthern and the Chaos Bunny, A-Hop-Calypse. Oh, I can't say the word anymore. So it's not apocalypse. It's a Hop-Calypse. Oh my gosh, I can't even say it. I'm not even going to try it again. Right? But it's just about these evil bunnies are taking over the school, but the group of friends, they have to band together to help save the day. And they do. Right? And then this is my favorite one out of the bunch, The Popularity Papers. And it is about Lydia and Julie and how they're best friends, and it's just them going through middle school, and just how they talk about like the popular kids and why they're popular and the things that they want to do for them, and just how they band together. And it's just, I show you some of the pages. I really like the drawings and how they look like they've been drawn in pencil crayon, and it's just ridiculous. And there's actually cursive writing in it, and they don't even teach cursive anymore, so I wonder if kids these days would even know how to read them. I know that sounds really bad, they probably do, but yeah, great. Just love this format, and it kind of gives me ideas to see if I could try to do this on the computer myself, to design a kind of diary-esque kind of book myself, because I do love that kind of a thing. And then we got to the Creeps, Night of the Frankenfrogs, and this is just about the kids that they need to dissect frogs for their biology class, but these frogs are not regular frogs, they're Frankenfrogs, and they escape from the school, and they have to work together to get them back into the school, before more chaos presumes on their town, right? And then we got Dog Night at the Story Zoo, and it's just comedy night, stories, and it's just how the different experiences and the perspectives of animals, and how hilarity it is, and just how behind our backs the different animals can really get along, and we don't really know about it. And the next ones are from the DC Comics Secret Hero Society Study Hall of Justice. So this one, we got Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. This one focuses on Batman, and just how brains and money kind of solve everything, right? And he's just like a really smart kid. It's black and white, and there's like little excerpts, that from like his study labs, kind of like his kind of blog posts, text messages, right? And we can tell who he's talking to. I don't know, right? See if I can find it, because Batman is a really smart guy and kid. He's even a cheekier kid, but he gets his report card, and he doesn't get A pluses. He gets A plus pluses, right? I don't know. It was just really kind of like, it was just really well done, just to show how, he's not just smart. He's got brains, right? Oh yeah, and then that F minus, wrong. Nothing's wrong than a failure, right? And just, of course it's wrong. It's an F, right? Oh, man. Unless instead of being an F minus, it's supposed to be like a F dash fail. I don't know. But, oh yes. And he also makes Lex Luthor cry because, it's Batman. And then the last one is the DC Comics Secret Hero Society Field Trip Disaster. And this one focuses on Wonder Woman, and because as Wonder Woman, everything ends up being in, she has to resolve everything peacefully, and because, that's the way her people do it. And this one also has different excerpts and different things about other superheroes and their strengths and their weaknesses and that kind of a thing, right? All in all, they were well done, well put together. Glad I picked them up, right? And they're all going to be back at the bookstore next week. So if you guys are in the area, you guys are welcome to come out. And it was a really good and busy day at the store, so time went by super fast because they're in the mall because Earth Day is on Monday, which is also my birthday. That there was just a bunch of vendors giving out a bunch of free things, and providing information about just different things, you know, different ways to get like better produce, and messaging out to get if you need like bike help or if you need repair help, just different services that the library has, and different things within the community, which is always great, and able to I don't know, if people aren't aware of what's out in their community, and it's just being able to have these events kind of like helps people to know what is out there and how they can how the community can serve them better. But yeah, so here's my little collection of books. Majority of them going back. Got some quick reads, got some ones that are going to mini libraries. But yeah, and I think going to the library and going to used bookstores is a great way of, you know, reduce, reusing, and recycle, right? And, but because as I quickly mentioned just before, my birthday is on Monday, and so I will be making sure I can get all the free things that I can get and to spoil myself. And I'm going to make sure I get myself a free coffee, get some ice cream, because, you know, every birthday you deserve a sweet treat. And my sweet treat for my birthday is ice cream. Yes, that's what I want. Right, I've decided. And because, you know, I don't need a cake, I don't need cupcakes, I just need 2 scoops of ice cream and a waffle cone. And one of them is, yes, going to be flavored ice cream cake, and the other one's going to be cotton candy. Because are there other flavors of ice cream? I don't think so. Right? So here we go, my collection of books, my rants, my stories. And this is going to be an extra long vlog, but you know what? I guess another part of my rambling is that for my birthday, I might just buy myself a you know, a book, right? Why not? I actually got some London dollars I can spend at another used bookstore to get more books if that's what I would want. Thumbs up to me. Thumbs up to celebrating birthdays, you know, being media literate, getting to 102 books in the first third of the year, and welcome to this reading dip-it and the close of this week's vlog. I'm happy that I've read so many books, and mainly graphic novels, and I've gotten the statistics of my reading so I started keeping track in 2022, so I know how much I've read in 22, 23, and now so far in 24. Mainly junior books, but in graphic novels, but at least that's something, right? Now, I do plan on reading some today, but mainly doing some crafting, because I am almost done my bag that, one of the 2 bags I've been making, and I will definitely show that to you. And I will have some extra yarn left over, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but, you know, maybe do a little scarf to kind of finish it off. Not quite sure, but, yeah, you know, it's always the thumbs up. Always gotta have a good time, and yeah, we'll see you next week because it'll be 1 year of doing these vlogs next week, and yeah, we'll just have to do like my year and recap to see what has been done and just how far I have come in 1 year. Not that far. But I've definitely read a lot, and I found last year I've learned that I really like thrillers, and this year, graphic novels. So, yeah, we can all like what we like. Alright, well anyways, that's all for this week. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and, you know, catch you later. Alright, bye!